Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner Davis.
Hey, good evening, everyone. How are you? I hope that everyone is staying warm in these frigid temperatures. Woo, it's been really, really chilly, really cold. And I tell you, it's no time to be playing around outside. So we're glad that you are able to tune in tonight and check us out one more time this week on WCM Live. I am your co-host, April Garner Davis. And Brother Edward popped out, but I think he's popped back in. Brother Edward, are you okay? You playing Jack in the Box tonight?
Yeah, so I don't. Somebody must not want me on here tonight. Must have a bunch of stuff.
I don't know. You're a little blurry for some reason. I think it's clearing up now. It's clearing up a little bit. It could be the weather. Could be the weather.
Yeah. Could be. And I'm a little under it, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Just a tad bit. So April, interesting for those of you who got the promo. Interesting. The topic of women's support for exiting foster care. One might ask the question, why women and what about men, right? I'm saying that ahead of time, so that's
you are. Because this show is about women exiting.
Yeah, women exiting. Okay, so well, if some men want to come on later on, you're certainly welcome, right? Or they're not.
You've totally thrown me, Brother Edward. You totally thrown.
Well, the topic for tonight is support for women exiting foster care.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And I thought that was an interesting, very, very interesting title and topic. And I've never met our guest who's going to be coming on very, very shortly. Interesting, very, very interesting, and just the prep talk that we had. I'm anxious to see what she's going to bring out and what she can give out to the community for cases like supporting for women exiting foster care. So, what do you think?
I think it's time to bring on our guest. So, without further ado, we have with us a wonderful individual who has founded a wonderful organization that provides support for women who are exiting foster care. And we're going to learn a little bit about what the foster care system looks like in terms of the services and support that's provided. And we may even learn some things about what's not really available for certain people who are in this type of a situation. But it takes organizations like the one that April Butler has founded to fill in the gaps and to provide some supplemental resources that will help women to not only transition out of foster care, but also to gain their confidence so that they can re-enter society and thrive. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome to the show April Butler, founder of Wings of Love Lifted. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing fine tonight. Hope that you are warm and that everything was great today.
I'm very, yes, like it's really, really cold. It's a little different. But I'm warm. Today was really well.
Awesome. So, April, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into more about Wings of Love Lifted.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for allowing me to bring awareness about our organization on your platform. So my name is April. I'm the founder and executive director of Wings of Love Lifted. It's a virtual support group for young girls transitioning from foster care. Our end goal is women who are self-assured, independent, and thriving. The service that we offer is free. It's virtual, where we offer life skills sessions. We will have four girls in the cohort to start with, and it's 2 sessions a week. Our first session is the icebreaker, where we create the safe space. They introduce yourself. They introduce themselves, we talk and, build a sisterhood. Wings of Love was started because of my journey into adulthood. And I know that these girls are, as they go into adulthood, they don't have that emotional support. Their story was once my story. I didn't have the emotional support, the sisterhood, the stability. And it's just like, I wasn't in foster care, but I resonate with them because, again, their story was once my story. So, um, I, as I pivot through life, I realize this is what I'm supposed to do. Turning my pain into purpose, connecting. I've always had the connection with the youth, with young girls, and I went on a retreat, and that's when everything clicked as, okay, this is really what you're supposed to be doing. So that's where Wings of Love started. We opened this year, January, and we're a nonprofit based out of North and South Carolina. We extended our outreach also into the community. Again, I'm thankful to bring awareness, but this is not an announcement. This is an assignment. So my assignment is to offer that emotional support, the guidance, the stability for these girls.
And so, and you have a very compelling story. And of course, as people get to know you and learn more about your work, I'm sure that it's something that you will share as a way to confirm why you were inspired to start this organization. One of the things that I think is important for people to understand is that, the foster care system is not a perfect system. It is a system that, while it is designed to provide just that, a foster environment for young women and, people who think about foster care usually think about children. And, it probably does entail also males at some point, but your specific focus is the woman who is transitioning out of foster care. And so, you call it the pathways to independence, and there's 4 different areas that you focus on for that. Why don't you share with us what those 4 pathways are to independence according to your program?
Yeah, Pathways to Independence. That's the name of the program, and that's where we have the virtual support group with the sessions. Session 1 through 12, and we had, the second session would be self-esteem. I don't really have them in my mind in order, but for me, I resonate with all of these sessions because job readiness, that's one that really sticks out to me because I didn't, I was just left to figure it out. So I was clueless. So we can provide resources for job readiness for these young girls where I could have someone to come in, like maybe you, April, to help with the resume, getting ready. I was clueless about a resume, if I must be honest. But as life went on, I figured it out. The financial empowerment, yes. Learning to, I don't know if it's balance budget or budget balance, is so important as you become an adult. So the financial literacy of it, that's key. If I knew then what I know now, it would be different. But I wouldn't change my story because it has led me to where I'm at now. To let them know they don't have to walk this journey alone, and we are here to support them every step of the way. Women's health is definitely key. We as women and men gotta learn to take care of ourselves early. We, as females, We need to look our best so we can do our best. So, like going for regular checkup, for your mammogram, all that is very important. Hygiene, you know, I think we should be pretty and look good 24/7, but I know that's, impossible. But anyway, so women's health is key, because it's if you going for your regular checkups, then you can prevent things if found early. So that's
And tell us about the women. Tell us about the women's empowerment part as well, because you have these 4 pathways to independence, and these are the things that you're actually introducing to the women who are in foster care or who are in a phase of transition. And so, why is the women's empowerment piece also a very important piece to your program?
Because this is where as we support, we build a sisterhood, the safe space to empower each other, to share resources, to uplift, to encourage. So and so may be having a bad day, so the women's empowerment is where we would, encourage to help try to figure out, whatever is going on. Sometimes, we don't have the answers right away, but, with a little research and support, we can get the answers.
Mm-hmm.
We can get, provide what's needed.
Mm-hmm. So as you have, you started this program and you've introduced the pathways to women who are in foster care situations, or maybe they're, you've done some outreach to other areas, as we were talking about. What have you learned about the women along the way? What are some things that they really need in terms of support as they try to figure out how to regain their confidence and re-enter society?
They definitely need that emotional support. They need guidance on preparing and getting ready for jobs. I'm going to shift a little bit. So I had the opportunity to speak at the halfway houses in North Carolina. And it was a great opportunity, but I noticed that now these are not, as I said, the halfway house. These ladies were, so some of them appeared to be sad, didn't have just basic things that we should have.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed they're saying I got a job interview. I don't have my hair big, stuff like that. Appearance is important for a job interview. So they were lacking in that area. They creating the safe space was key. So as I made several visits to speak, the safe space was created. They began to open up, share things that had happened to how they got to this point and didn't know how they were going to get to the next point, and didn't have transportation, didn't have a cell phone. There was lacking in so many areas. But they said to me, I've never opened up to anyone like I'm opening up to you. That one lady, she said, I really feel safe with you and sharing this. And she said, can you come back every week? She said, I feel I need to talk to you every week. And as I said, I was traveling from South Carolina to North Carolina. And I said, I don't live here. And she said, you don't? I said, no. I said, I live in South Carolina. She said, and you drive here every month? I said, yes. And she just cried and she hugged me. And it's just...
So yeah. the emotional support, I'm sure, is extremely important, because they're, the fact that they're in the foster care system means that they're not united with their families. They are, there are probably some extenuating circumstances that led to the foster care. And I can imagine that if someone is in the system, they're probably just looking for hope, or they're hopeful that their situation will change. You and I were talking about statistics a little bit earlier, and because we're both from South Carolina. By the way, April Butler is from Bucksport, and so we always like to hype up Bucksport whenever we can. Doing big things, of course, with a program like this. But when we talk about South Carolina alone, according to research, it says that there's around 300 youth total annually who exit foster care without a permanent home. Girls who are generally, a little older than normal, also are a significant portion of this statistic, which means that they're facing homelessness, unemployment, a lack of education, and things that will keep them from thriving. And so, there had to be a reason why you were drawn to women in foster care. Talk about why you believe it is important to have resources like this, not only just for the emotional support, but also for the I guess, the practical things that will help them to be successful, and also to just, have a better life once they leave the foster care system.
So you want me to speak of my personal journey as to why I resonate with them in foster care?
You can, if you believe that that's why you understand the importance of having resources like this.
Oh, okay, yeah, yes, because okay, for me, having to so now transportation is more available per se when I was going into adulthood. For 7 years, I had to walk wherever I had to go. For one thing, I was working part time. I didn't have the resources for a cab, the bus. So it's like, how do you navigate through that? That's scary. And then again, we have choices in life. I made some choices. So even during pregnancy, I had to walk. That was very difficult. So now there's Uber, Lyft, all that. But again, that costs. But if you come through our program, is free. We can provide resources where it can help you, where you won't have to say, "Well, I don't have funds." We can help with that. As I stated earlier, with the resumes, we can help with them as far as clothes, what they need, how they should look, you know, do the mock interviews for the job, things like that. So that's, providing those resources is key, is very important. This is how they'll get back on their feet or get back to thriving, or actually not even get back on their feet. I'm thinking about the halfway house, get into the world where they are able to thrive. And it won't be so difficult because, again, if I had the support that I'm providing now, things would have been different. But again, I think it was all a part of my story for a reason.
Yeah.
To show up, to make a difference, to let them know that they're not walking this journey alone, and resources are available.
Well, you were really a role model at that point for them to take heed to. But I just want to ask you a question. Uh, what's the predominant age group that you dealt with so far of women that you had to assist?
16 through 20. but our mission is age 18 to 21, but we are flexible with that. That's why, I've had the opportunity to be a blessing or be the mentor for a 16-year-old.
So
And
so
that's
where? Yeah.
our outreach.
Okay.
The community.
So where do you provide your services? Do you have is there an office someplace, or you do by way of phone, or just general contact, or
It's
what?
a virtual support group, so it's through the internet. So they can connect through Zoom and Teams. And if they're unable, if they don't, again, it's if some of them don't have the phone, the internet, I've connected, contact the local library, and as long as I schedule the meetings, and no one else is, if they have availability, then we can meet in person for the session.
Yeah, right. So if you had adequate resources and someone donated um, more than adequate resources, what would be the first thing that you would uh, not buy or build or whatever that you don't have now?
Repeat
Would
that
you, would
question.
you if someone donated an adequate, I'd say use the word adequate for lack of a better word right now, but donated resources to you for you to help in your projects, what would you do first? Would you build a building, an office, or would you build a housing uh, for some of the people who are making the transition, or what?
Absolutely. That's actually what I wanted to do. But again, as the old saying go, you got to crawl before you can walk. But that's our goal as we grow is to have brick and mortar within 2 to 5 years, so that when they transition from foster care, then they can come to our brick and mortar. Absolutely, that's exactly what we would do.
We have a question from the audience. Thank you for watching, Dorothy Reeves. And she asks, how are you introduced to the females?
I have connected with the Department of Social Services, and they have connected me with the case workers, case managers, and that's how I'm connected with the girls.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier that you've also done some work in halfway houses. Was that a referral, or was it just your identification of the fact that there were some women who would probably be transitioning out of the halfway house? So that's not necessarily a foster care system, but I imagine that there were women there who actually could use the services that you had. So is what you do just singular to foster care, or are you kind of using this outreach to reach women anywhere who need this kind of assistance?
Well, again, our mission is the girls transition from foster care,
Mm-hmm.
but God is leading and I'm following. So He opened that door for me to speak at the halfway houses, and it
Mm-hmm.
was done through a donation from my daughter donating clothes, and they asked if she could come and speak, and she said, "Oh my, I don't do that, but my mom just opened a nonprofit, and I will speak with her," and she did it, and I contacted the lady, and that's how it went from. So it went from just donation of clothes, and that's how it started there.
Mm-hmm. What are some, you and I were talking earlier about some other populations that could benefit from what you do. Are there any other areas that you'd like to reach out to? For example, in the education system, I'm sure that there are children or youth who are in foster care, but they attend, school, public school or what have you. So have you thought about actually extending your services to those populations as well?
Yes, we did our outreach in South Carolina at the elementary school, and I don't know if they were in foster care in the school. I remained anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to bless 5 children at the elementary school, and then we also sponsored another child in North Carolina at the high school. We are going to so that came from our wings tree. Instead of the angel tree, it's called the wings tree, where we sponsored the young lady, and she's 16. Um, in 2026, we will also do our wings promise, which will be for prom. So that will be, of course, well, I can't say of course because they do have it in middle school, but in high school. So as long as the girl is making good grades, our organization will donate towards the prom dress or the hairstyle. So we definitely are it's active in the community.
Mhm.
But again, our mission is for the girls transition from foster care. But if we can, we don't want to overextend ourselves because again, we are in our formative years and we are learning as we grow. But the youth is just all on me to be a blessing. So working in the community, absolutely.
Mhm.
If someone is older than 18 to 21 and we can be of service, we will do that. Again, we don't want to overextend ourselves, but we need each other because again, I'm giving to them what I didn't get. And
Mhm.
that fills me up with so much joy. And to piggyback off of Mr. I forgot your name. Don't charge it to
McQueen.
Mr. Yes.
McQueen.
As
McQueen.
we grow, we will definitely offer service support to young boys as well. But again, we gotta continue to because they need it too.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Mhm.
I think that begs the question that I brought up later about why not boys, but you know um, that's life, I guess.
Well,
It's her
um,
focus. It's her focus for her nonprofit
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
time.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So um, there's a question that comes from Ms. Reeves as well. And I'm trying to pull together your thoughts, Ms. Reeves. It's kind of a two-part comment. She's asking, do you have a program model that you're implementing? Imagine that means 4 halfway houses, because then she says I guess halfway housing in South Carolina can be tough to govern. I don't. It's not that you are implementing halfway housing with your organization. It's just that you have had the opportunity to go into a halfway house to speak to females who might be transitioning back into society. I think that's what you were trying to explain earlier.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So if you had, I know that there are organizations that you've reached out to, Department of Social Services and other organizations for help. And we talked earlier about how, in North and South Carolina, things kind of, move a little differently. And it sounds like it was kind of tough to even navigate connecting with those agencies in order to extend the help or the resources that you have. So, what's one way that the community that's watching or anyone who's connected to DSS or any of the other agencies that serve as foster women in foster care or youth in foster care, what is one way that they can help you in terms of making sure that there's an awareness of your program?
That's what I was gonna say. Spread the word, bring awareness to it. They can reach me. They visit my website. The information is there to just let everyone know that we're it's a free service. We offer it, and it was, as you said, it was difficult to connect in South Carolina. It's like I got the runaround. I I went to the local social services. They gave me this number. I called. She gave me another number. I called. He answered. We had a very good conversation. He said that he was a supervisor over at foster care in Columbia. I said, okay. He said that he would share my information in the database, that they offer services that I offered. But a lot of times, some of the girls don't go through their program and might be interested in mine. So 2 weeks had gone by, I didn't hear anything. So I reached back out. I called, didn't get a response. I sent an email, so he emailed me back and said that he was no longer the supervisor. And he gave me the contact information of who was the supervisor. And she did the same thing he did. She said, I resent my information to her. And I'm thinking, okay, all these girls, girls, boys, exiting foster care. No one wants to reach out to a free service. Now, we're not forcing our services on anyone, but no one. So, is my information really in the database? Like, okay, all right. North Carolina, just easy breezy. Got a call back, send the email, got the email back from joining the meeting, spoke with the supervisor, connected me with the case manager, connected me with the girl. I was like, okay, finally.
So the connectivity is very important. And, sometimes at these agencies, there's a lot of turnover. Programs are dismantled. There are lots of shifts in and through an agency or organization. And I think that's another reason why it's important for even, these types of agencies to be connected to external nonprofits that can provide resources. Because for example, if DSS were offering a particular program and that program was dismantled or defunded, there may be a possibility that women who were coming through that program could be referred to a program like yours. And so, I guess one thing that we can ask the community to do in order to support you is to use connections that they have to make sure that there's an awareness of your program and get the information to anyone who is looking for resources for people in foster care or, some of the services that you provide. And so that's one way that the community can help. What's another way that the community can help you in what you're doing?
We need some help with grant writing. That's not my area. I tried it, I did it. But if anyone can connect me with someone that knows about grant writing, that would be excellent. Definitely. Support would be, we have the Wayne Circle where they can make a one-time donation, or at the Wayne Circle they can be a monthly donating. That support that this way with, as they come through and they need things and we have funding, we can definitely help with that. When I did the outreach at the high school, the social workers, I think she thought I was playing or joking around. She said, we never get calls like this. She said, are you serious? I said, yes, we want to sponsor a young girl. So she was very thankful for that.
And so the donations that you, gain from the community, what exactly are the donations used for? Are you buying supplies for the young ladies? What are some of the ways that you're actually helping them?
As you say, buying supplies. If they need cell phone, maybe we could, do that, but no one is, needed that. Like trying to make like a care basket with like personal items that they would need. The funds would go towards if we brought someone in like you to help them with their with the resumes. You have to, if you bring a guest speaker in, you have to pay for that. Help with transportation.
Okay. There's a question. Thank you, Stephanie Sessions Malone, for tuning in. She's actually a weekly guest. Do you keep in contact with the females once they leave the program?
Absolutely. And once they go through the 12 sessions, if they feel that they need to come back again, like they're not ready or they want more support, they're welcome to come back through again.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, because staying in touch, as I told the lady today at the high school, we would like to stay in touch with the young lady that we sponsor through, her other years. She's a sophomore, you know, getting ready for graduation. If there's something that we can do that's in our budget, we would love to. We don't want it to be just a one-time thing, but again, we don't want to overextend ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But staying in touch is key because that way they know that they're seen and that they're heard and they got that support. It's not like okay, it is coming through the blah blah blah. As I said earlier, this is not an image to uphold. This is an assignment to complete. So we definitely stay in touch.
Mm-hmm. So we have a couple of encouraging comments for you. Tanya DeWitt Green, thank you for watching tonight. She says, thank you for fighting for those who don't have any fight left in them due to circumstances they had to endure. You're an angel. And then also Rachel Putman, thank you so much for watching tonight. So proud to see the work you're doing as you live your purpose out loud and pouring into young adults as they transition. We had women of influence in our lives. Thank you, Lucille Moses and Gloria Reagan, just to name a few. She's right about that. And Miss Lucille Moses, my neighbor, is still one of those persons that is just a phenomenal presence in my life. And Rachel's right. When you have people who are willing to pour into you, to mentor you and guide you, and also just like you said, to kind of coach and teach you the things that you need to know as far as how to to not only gain confidence, but to use your confidence in different areas. That kind of coaching and mentoring is priceless, especially for Black women. And so, and I'm sure that your program is open to anyone. It's definitely rooted in diversity. And can you tell us I know there's information that you can't really share about the people that you see sometimes, but when you think about the different types of people who you come in contact with through the foster care system, do you see more Black females, or is it across the board? What tell us a little bit about the demographic and what it really looks like in the systems that you've been exposed to.
Actually, it's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not it's all this race and no, it's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and pretty much a lot of them, they really need that emotional support, that like you said, someone to pour into them. So I'm pouring with all I got. I have a dynamic team. Let me not leave that out. That really I couldn't do it without them.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, I'm providing what I needed, but I got, if this makes sense, as I became an adult, there were people that came into my life as an adult, like 30s and 40s, that poured into me. This is, like I say, this is why I'm here tonight. Like, I was like, you know what? Did I really need it then, or do I really need it now? And I think that, well, I'm not 30, but I really, like, yes, believing in me and supporting me and always there for me no matter what. Like, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I'm going to complete my assignment. I'm going to pour and pour and pour and make a difference so that they're seen and they're heard and they're valued and love. Love is key. If it can't be an in-person hug, there'll be a virtual hug.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting, and it's actually great that you're able to provide the virtual sessions, because sometimes the barrier is transportation, and they can't get to a certain place in order to, take advantage of some of the resources that are available. So it's good that you are providing that. And if you will, before we start to wrap up, talk a little bit more about the actual program structure. I think you said that there's, is it 12 weeks or 12 sessions that they go through?
Yes, it's 4 girls, 2 sessions a week, 6 weeks, 12 sessions, 2 cohorts. Yes. And
Okay.
again, if they feel like they want to come back through, they can do that because it's free. It's not a thing of, and there's no qualifications. I mean, someone asked, say, well, what if it's someone that doesn't speak English? I say, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can't. I just don't want to turn anyone away. And if it's something that we can do to figure it out, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That would be easy. Find someone that speaks their language.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you must have had a lot of thought that came into your description of your title, which is you're the founder of Wings of Love Lifted. How did that come into play? I mean, those words that you chose.
I love this. I love your question. So, Wings of Love Lifted came from I. I'm an earthy girl, spiritually led, and I have a strong connection with birds. Now, I had another name, and my other mother said, no, not that name. So she and I were talking. And as we were talking, the cardinal, was at the window and they were chirping and chirping. And I was like, ooh, the birds. And that's how we came up with Wings of Love.
Wow.
Was through the yes. And the cardinals that visit me every day. I
Really?
have so many pictures. So that's how it came about, Wings of Love. So you get on, as they say, on the wings of love.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to spread your wings. So we're gonna lift you high on the wings of love.
All right. We have another question. Bonnie Edie, thank you so much for watching. Even though the teenagers are in foster care, do their parents have any contact with them?
Some of them, but I try not to go into. I've learned to listen and not respond too much, or go, because some things can be a trigger. So as far as a few of them, they stay in touch with their biological parents.
Mm-hmm. And
Great.
Tanya, that is great. Tanya DeWitt Green, I'm going to put this comment up. She says she's not sure if it's allowed, but she would like to challenge everyone watching to match her and give $25. If that's out of order against platform guidelines, she apologizes. No apologies necessary, Tanya. And so I'm going to put the I'm going to put the website back up so that everyone can see. If you go to wingsoflovelifted.com,
No,
she had,
excuse me, it's .org.
oh, sorry, .org. You can go to their donate page and you can click on donate here. And there is a way for you to donate. You can do a one-time, monthly, or a yearly gift. And of course, if you're going to donate, please cover the fees, because that's important for organizations, especially startup organizations that lack in resources, but they're trying to do the incredible work. So just go to wingsoflovelifted.org, go to the donate page, make a selection of the type of donation you'd like to give, and click on the number, fill it in, and then donate with debit or credit card, or you can donate using PayPal. So April, it has been a pleasure to have you on here tonight. And thank you, Tanya Robinson, for watching. She says, thank you for being a safe place for these young women. And that's really important because in order for them to open up and allow you to help them, they have to feel safe with you and with the work that you're doing. So is there, anything else you'd like for us to know before we wrap up tonight's broadcast?
Again, I want to thank you for allowing me to spread awareness about our organization. If there's anyone out there that know anyone for the grant writing, please reach out to me. You can make a one-time donation, join our Wayne Circle, and just keep me lifted up in good energy, good prayers, the organization in good energy and good prayers, because, again, that's why I extended the outreach to the community, because we need each other. We work better together. We need each other. Again, our mission is foster care, but there are girls in the community that also need our support. So whenever, however, that's what we're going to do. I'm just so grateful. And again, this is my assignment, and I'm going to complete the assignment, but I do need community support. I do. It's not an announcement. It's you're bringing awareness. I mean, it's not, I'm going to say that back. But yes, so I thank you for the opportunity, April. I really do. I thank you for all your support. You are amazing, and I love you.
I love you too. I really do, April. And this is some great work that you're doing. And don't be discouraged about anything that seems like, a delay or that things aren't moving, as quickly as you want. Just like, I don't know this handle here, but the Ron guy. Okay, it's the Ron. Just like he said, you are just starting and you're already crossing 2 states to make it happen. And so all we can do as a community is not only support you, but create the awareness in the community so that others can find out more about the services that you provide. And, that's what we're here for at WCM Live. And I actually want to just, I like that Tanya issued a challenge to support you. And I'd like to issue a challenge to all of our viewers to actually identify other organizations that need this kind of support, the kind of support that WCM Live gives every week, which is bringing awareness to, these types of things that are happening. I mean, I actually see a couple of people listed. I'm not going to call any names. I'm not going to call anybody out. But I see, some people who are actually listed in the audience lineup who are doing amazing things in the community, and they need to come on and talk about what they're able to provide the community in terms of empowerment and support, but also just resources. And so this is how we create this type of platform. And this is, one of the reasons why Brother Edward actually has this particular platform, mainly for education purposes. I mean, we are educating the public about what's out there, but also to create the awareness of resources and things that could be vital and extremely beneficial to the community. So thank you, April, for spending some time with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And just keep on pressing, keep pushing, and just let us know how we can help you as you continue to, spread the wings of love, as you said, the wings of love lifted.
Spread your wings.
I think that's wonderful. Exactly. So we're going to give you some time back tonight. Thank you so much. And Brother Edward and I are going to stick around and do a few community announcements. So have a good evening. Thank you so much, April.
Thank you.
So Brother Edward, I tell you, it was great having her on the show to talk about her nonprofit. And, we hope to bring some more people on to shed light about the work that they're doing across communities. And
yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. Right?
You don't even have to have an organization. You can be an individual who's doing some big things, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, we're getting to them. We're getting to them. And so was that Sister Dorothy Reeves?
She said she's a beneficiary of this beautiful WCM, and truly, we appreciate you too, Ms. Reeves. We really do.
Very, very much. Very much.
Absolutely.
He works closely with Reverend Cheryl Adamson on their different young people projects, and deserving applause. April, on you're from Sugar Hill, right?
Oh yeah,
Sugar.
fine
S
sand, fine sand, the land of fine sand. Yeah,
SUGA.
there you go.
Sugar
Exactly.
Hill.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that up for a reason. Apparently, we're having some little difficulties, I guess, with the gentleman that we really want to talk to, who's um, making a mark again, in a regrettable mark in the community coming up on the 20th, and that is that he'll no longer be running this place, and that is none other than our brother Abdul Salim. I used to say Singleton.
Saeed. Saeed.
Yeah. So everybody will know, okay? Yeah. See, and he runs. Well, he has been 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 operating Singleton Grocery. That's the sign on the building. Singleton Grocery for the past 18 years, he said, and the brother's going to give it up, and he's getting good support. So if he doesn't bother to let us know why he wants to give it up, then it's I don't want to push that, but he's giving it up, and he wanted to come on on the broadcast this evening and say a few words to the community that has supported him all those years, and I can tell you, he must have got a lot of support. I'll tell you, I mean, when this man's open up on Friday and Saturday, look, that's all. Those are only 2 days he needs to open up.
This famous fried crabs that Marvin Latimer is always pushing and giving away. Marvin had this campaign on social media where he says, post in the comments, Marvin, give me crabs. That's what people would do, and they would win. I want crabs, but yeah, it's Singleton's Grocery, of course, is just as the Whittemore Race Path Historic Society actually recognized it as our neighborhood landmark.
Right.
It truly is that, because I grew up looking out my back window at Singleton's Grocery, and there's so many memories that surround just that one little corner of Sugar Hill. Definitely when Mr. Ben was alive, and it was set up as a grocery store, canned goods, bags of rice, flour, sugar, whatever you needed, penny candy. And I remember when sodas were only 25 cents and things. I tell them my age now. But the bottom line was, it was the
that's
first.
Been a while.
It's been a while. It was the first time, number one, that I remember thinking to myself, and it actually being like a semblance of entrepreneurship in the community. A community grocery store is what it was. So it was, unlike anything that we'd ever seen before. That, and as a child, you didn't know how big that was. All you knew is that you can go down there and get one of the little brown paper bags full of penny candies, the big bowls and the fortune bubbles and the Mary Janes or whatever it is that he, sold. I remember Miss Emma Walker, believe it or not. I don't know if you remember that. Miss Emma Walker, she was one of Sugar Hill's finest, and she would send us down to the store to get her special packages. I'm not even going to repeat what it was, but basically, everybody in the community supported that one store. And if you could not get to one of the major grocery stores, you could certainly go to Singleton's Grocery and get what you needed. So, the fact that it's kind of come full circle, I think this is the second closing for the store. I can imagine that Abdul is probably, of that age where it's like, you get to a point where you're like, I need to retire and, live life a little bit. Because sometimes you feel like, I've worked and I've worked and I've worked. What is next? And so hopefully it's not the end of Singleton's Grocery, but it certainly will be missed as a landmark on the weekends when it was bringing traffic back into the community, and people, just enjoyed hanging out and going to get some fried crabs, because that's what he was doing. So
I never went over for the crabs, but the spot fish, I'm telling you.
Yeah, fish too. Spot. Yeah.
Oh man, it's blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm certainly going to be saddened by his absence. Just I expect to see him there every weekend, but
Hmm.
I'm going to be saddened by his absence, and like you said, maybe he'll decide to come back and open back up again, to start operating again.
Hmm.
Um, he certainly didn't rule it out. Okay, in my conversation with him, didn't rule it out. But that means there's a little bit of hope there, because now I mean he was the only thing. He was the thing on Sugar Hill, Kurt, as of today, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
He was the item on Sugar Hill. I mean, as of today, all right. I mean, there was no other store on right on Sugar in the Sugar Hill community area, right?
Oh, there's never been another store in the Sugar
Yeah,
Hill
yeah.
community. Yeah, I mean that's been the actual store. Now we had the candy ladies, Miss Essie and Miss Amma up the street, but that was
Oh,
the
oh.
official grocery store. That was the official grocery store. Yeah. So, and then within their history, there was Singleton Groceries, and then across the street, Ben Jr. actually opened a store, but that lot was cleared and it's no longer there. There used to be a building right there in the corner, and he had not only some things that you could buy in the store, but I remember that he had like it was like a little Ferris, not a Ferris wheel, but what do you call it? The with the animal. Somebody help me in the comments.
With the animals.
Um, yeah, and it goes around and around. What do you call
Uh,
it?
uh,
What's the word for it, y'all? The Ferris wheel. That's the thing that goes around like this, right? But
that's the
that's the
word.
thing. No, but it was one of those things, and you could go in the back and pop a quarter in or whatever, and it would spin you around or whatever. So he had a little entertainment for the kids in the neighborhood, but certainly a Sugar Hill landmark. So merry-go-round. Thank you, Miss McIver. Merry-go-round. But any yeah,
Leave that to Miss Mike.
merry-go-round. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
anyway,
Leave
so
that to Miss Mike.
well, yeah, well, we wish Abdul luck in whatever it is that
Yeah,
he wants to do next. And Lisa was also a part of that. Lisa Davis was
absolutely.
also a
Very.
part of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
very, very
mhm.
integral part, and she's been doing a tremendous job there. I'm just based on his, uh, uh, you know, what he's been saying. That how good as she's been doing that and helping them. The I'm hoping that uh, you know that kind of changes his mind a little bit and and get back to this famous store. I just got acclimated, since coming back to Conway. But I mean, I never went there when I was much younger because I would always get beat up by people. Uh,
What,
Sugar Hill has has some bad youngsters, man.
Brother Air? You sure you weren't doing? What were you
Yeah.
doing, Brother Airwork?
Well, so I had some of my classmates over there. I wanted to go over there,
Uh,
but couldn't. So, but anyway. Oh yeah, brother Abdul was going to come on tonight. Getting back to us, he was going to come on and express his appreciation to his all of his supporters over the past 18 years. And it seemed like since we had a little bit of technical difficulty there, that apparently he won't. So I'm taking the liberty to do that. Um, uh, so
and they're officially closing December 20th.
which is this Saturday, and they won't be serving anything this Saturday. They won't be open for business, but I can't talk about Friday. I don't know, but
Mm,
Saturday he has said that it won't be selling anything on Saturday. So,
okay.
and I think he's going to be kind of like welcoming the community to come by and say a few words and do whatever whatever they want to say, and then wish him well.
All
So
right.
that's the bad news
Well,
for tonight.
it's bittersweet. It really
Yeah,
is. But I have some good news, Brother Edward, that I want to share.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and so I want you to go to the network if you can to take a look at the newest doctor that has received the distinction, and that is Dr. Franklin Goss. He has received his PhD in Educational Foundations from the University of South
Oh,
Carolina, and we're just so appreciative of Dr. Goss, and we just want to congratulate him. Thank you so much for everything you do in the community, and congratulations. Isn't that a good look? That's a pretty good look right there. So it's great that he is well on his way and has done some amazing things, and that he's received his distinction. Dr. Goss is actually a faculty member at Coastal Carolina University. He's fact coordinator, program director of the Call Me Mr. program in the teacher education department, and again, truly doing some remarkable things. So he's gained his doctorates, and that's a wonderful thing. And we just want to congratulate him tonight on that amazing achievement.
Congratulations to Dr. Goss.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, and
Dr.
then
Goss.
Dr. Goss, exactly,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
he's always on the show, giving us our history lesson.
Yep.
He's an amazing storyteller as well. We also would like to congratulate Matthew Richard Jr. for his accomplishments this year with the Carvers Bay Bears, and he also received Region 6 Coach of the Year. So congratulations to Matthew Richard. Let me see if I can pull a picture of him up on the screen. We got, I mean, there's just some wonderful talent and people doing amazing things. There he is, WPDE Region 6 Coach of the Year, All Zone Coach of the Year. So it's great that he has taken that program to the next level. And he had some big shoes to fill with that program, and he really did an amazing job. So if you have any wonderful achievements and things that you would like for us to showcase, please drop them in the network if you're a member of the network. Otherwise, drop them on the World Community Magazine's page, and we'll certainly feature that as much as we can on the show.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
we need to get it out there. All these accomplishments that are happening, a lot of them we just don't know about until months or later and all that kind of stuff. It shouldn't be that way. Shouldn't be that way. So just get it out there. Don't be shy. A lot of people don't like to toot their own horn, but we'll toot it.
That's right. We'll toot it for you.
All right.
All right. So we hope that everyone is able to stay warm in these frigid temperatures. And we want to give a special shout out to Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church and Seacoast Church for acting as warming shelters in these past 48 hours of very frigid temperatures down in Conway and in the Longs area. And also, if you know of anyone who is in need of shelter or who has, any type of situations where they can't find a warm place to stay, or they're in need of food, or just any kind of accommodations, again, check into the resources that are around the community. Start with, for example, the Shepherd's Table. They not only provide food, but they will be able to point you in the direction of different types of resources that are out there. And just ask around as much as possible. If we see it, we'll repost it on social media as well. But we know that a lot of people who need these services are not necessarily on social media. But the idea is that if you're informed through this platform, then you can certainly help spread the word, just in case someone happens to ask. I was in a situation over the weekend, and somebody who I did not know needed a resource, and I thought of someone immediately, made a phone call, and before you knew it, we were able to direct him in two different directions where he could possibly get some help. And he was like, wow, this is amazing. But it comes from being informed about what's in the community, and you never know when you're going to need that information or can pass that information on to someone. So
absolutely.
So just make sure that you take care of yourselves, and we hope to see you next week, same time, 7 p.m. next Tuesday. Brother, do we have an idea of a guest for next week? Or are we still working on it?
Still working on that. I need to solidify some things.
All right.
We're working.
Okay. And Christmas is next week, y'all. So hope you got your Christmas shopping done. If not, this should be the year for homemade gifts. I'm going to throw it out there. Okay. For homemade stuff. So, but we just thank everyone for watching. And again, have a wonderful week, rest of your week. Stay warm. And we'll see you next week at 7 p.m.
Thank you for all of our viewers and our commenters. Really appreciate your comments. Really.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, take care. God bless.
All right. Godspeed.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook.